So it was just another Wednesday night for the Iowa Hawkeyes as they went up against Minnesota until Caitlin Clark did something that I don't think I've ever seen before. From the opening tip till the last moment she checked out of the game with 4 minutes to go in the fourth, Caitlin Clark proceeded to create 60 of Iowa's 108 points. For those keeping track, that's over 60% of her team's entire offense for the night. The Hawkeyes posted a 148 offensive rating for the entire game, but what's even crazier is that when Caitlin Clark was on the floor, Iowa posted a 152 offensive rating in just under 30 minutes of play. It all started in the first 15 seconds of the game when Caitlin Clark hit a step-back 28-footer into Minnesota's drop coverage defense. By now, we've all heard of or seen Caitlin Clark's ability to rain in threes from anywhere, and that's exactly what she did. Minnesota was so concerned with Caitlin Clark's outside shooting that they were picking her up in the backcourt just 1 minute into the game. Of course, when you do that, Caitlin Clark can simply take it coast to coast, which she does here for an and one. So, on the very next play, she comes off a pin down and drains a three-pointer from the logo. So if you're keeping track, she's 3 for 3 to start the game. And after Minnesota scored their first 2 points of the game, Caitlin Clark launched another 30-footer 4 seconds into the shot clock. Nothing but net. And it was this three-pointer that made her the all-time three-point leader in Big Ten women's history. So how does she follow this up? With another crossover and step back into a 30-footer. Nothing but net again. So if you're keeping track, she's now 5 for 5 with the first 15 Iowa points of the game, and we're still only 5 minutes into this one. On the next possession down, she makes a beautiful backdoor pass to a cutting teammate, which I feel like is an under-discussed aspect of Clark's game in light of her historic shooting ability. On the next scoring possession, Clark gets the defensive rebound and whips a one-handed cross-court pass in transition. And what makes this play possible is the fact that Minnesota has 2 players picking up Clark in transition. Iowa is one of the fastest-paced teams in all of Division I, and this season they've posted a 119 offensive rating, which is the best mark of any team in college basketball right now. And for better context, the league average offensive rating in the Big Ten is just under 103. So this season, Iowa's offense would be 16 points better than league average in the entire conference, and 6 whole points better than the second best offense in the Big Ten. A historic number. All of this is made possible because of Caitlin Clark, who on the very next possession in transition is picked up at half court by 2 Minnesota defenders, so she whips it across court to a teammate who swings it to another for an open corner 3. So if you're keeping track, Clark has created 19 of Iowa's 22 points already. On this next possession, Minnesota actually goes into a box and one on Caitlin Clark, so she whips it across court, and because they're overplaying Clark, that leaves room for an open teammate in the corner. After sitting for a couple of minutes, Clark comes back in and whips this pass to an angle-cutting teammate for an easy pull-up. And there goes that spectacular passing again as she throws this ball in front of her teammate almost like a QB throwing a slant route to make it possible. Clark has shown the ability to also make skip passes to the corner like you would expect your elite on-ball creators to do. Clark continues her dynamic scoring in the second quarter, coming off of this baseline exit screen to drain an open 3. Clark's spectacular shooting is even more unlocked when she poses the ability to play off the ball. This kind of off-ball movement keeps defenses in a knot and is what has made Iowa's offense so potent for the last 4 years. This off-ball movement also did wonders for a certain little skinny point guard out of Davidson College, whose game Clark draws a lot of similarities from. Turning your back to Caitlin Clark in transition is one thing you absolutely cannot do. She flashes middle in transition while her point guard brings the ball up court, and that leaves her just enough space to drain her 6th triple of the night. And we're now up to 31 points created out of Iowa's 36 on the night so far. So let's keep it going. The next play down, Clark finds an open teammate in transition, and this is again made possible because they would rather pick up Clark in transition than any other teammate because she poses that much of a scoring threat. After again resting for a few minutes, Clark comes back in and looks to work her magic, but she's shut off, so she resets and finds another angle-cutting teammate who she dimes up perfectly. And this is split-second awareness to recognize the cutter as she's resetting, and an even better pass to catch her in stride. To start the second half, there's more great passing from Clark in transition. Upon receiving the pass from Molly Davis, Clark immediately touches it over to a sprinting teammate for an easy layup. A couple minutes later, Clark gets the ball on the wing and attempts to get to the basket. She throws up a wild shot when it looks like she gets fouled, but off a lucky bounce, it comes right back to her and she finishes on the second attempt. The next play down, on an out of bounds trip, Clark comes off of staggered pin downs to drain another three from the Cambria court logo. We're now up to 47 points created. So, again in transition, Clark pushes the ball down court only to whip it to the corner on the move. A couple minutes later, Clark receives a ball screen at the three-point line. Minnesota is back in drop coverage, only this time Clark uses a beautiful hesitation move to get past the big man for two. The next play down, Clark gives the ball up in transition only to sprint across court to get it back. The pump fake puts Minnesota's defense in scramble mode, and Clark delivers a beautiful bounce pass to her teammate in the dunker spot. Minnesota really struggled to run with Iowa in this one, only on this possession they almost deflect Clark's pass in transition, but a lucky bounce gets it right back to her so she can find an open teammate for three. Another minute later, and it's a beautiful outlet pass in transition for her 11th assist of the night. And after this rebound and coast-to-coast layup in transition, Clark was now up to 30 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. This was her second triple-double in a row and 6th on the season. But most importantly, for the sake of this video, she was now up to 60 points created on the entire game, and we still have a quarter to go. This play didn't count because of an offensive foul, but look at this beautiful one-handed pass through Minnesota's zone defense. Clark had multiple impressive passes through this game that didn't register as assists, but these plays are still a great reflection of her amazing passing ability that I'm certain will translate at the next level. To make it 62 created points on the night, Clark gets by her initial defender, which collapses the defense and sets up the gorgeous bounce pass. And with Minnesota still in zone defense, Clark comes off of this ball screen for an easy pull-up three to give her 33 points on the night and 65 total created points. And as spectacular as she was in this game, this was only a microcosm of what has been an all-time great basketball college career. I'm so excited to see what she'll be able to do at the WNBA level. And with the Big Ten and NCAA tournaments being just days away, Clark is only a few points away from becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer in both men's and women's basketball history, which is certainly the cherry on top for what has been the greatest college basketball career of all time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what other videos you would like to see. If you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know, because I plan on making more WNBA content when the season opens up in May. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.